Okay, hi there. I'm Shauna Karish, and I'm answering some questions that came through Ask Shauna. And so we're going to do that today. Here we go. I have a yearling Shetland pony who we recently got as a present from a family member. The stallion had not been trained beforehand and was under the rule of a stallion and mare pair in his old home. Since coming to our house, I've been training him. He first was responding well, but as we moved to lunging, I found he reacts badly to using any sort of discomfort methods, such as tapping him when he isn't doing the right thing. I think this program could work well for him, but where do I start? Also, I have a high-trained Morgan mare who needs to learn to have some fun and relax. Could this help her too? Okay, this question comes from Victoria. And okay, let's start with the Shetland pony. For sure, this will help your Shetland pony. I think one of the things that's really important is to get them to respond to pressure. I think I choose to utilize the positive reinforcement training together with the traditional training because I want them to be able to handle the aids, whether it's, my leg, my hands, whatever it might be. So where I would start with him, so it sounds like he can't handle any pressure at all. So the first thing you want to do is do the bridge conditioning and target training. So you have a way to communicate to him and tell him when he did something right. And then utilizing the target training, it helps him to learn how to learn. And it's kind of the first step towards the working relationship. So you get those things out of the way. Okay, so once you've got that down, it sounds to me like I'm going to focus a little bit on the lunging. Since he reacts badly to any sort of discomfort. I don't know what reacting badly is. I imagine it's bulking, pulling away, probably trying to get off the lunge line or something. So what I would start doing is start in a closer area and try to set him up by doing the right thing. So I don't know if he responds to a cluck. If he does respond to a cluck, and get him, so it's just the littlest bit of tap. You can even do it in his stall. So let's back up a little bit. What I'm going to suggest you do is start even in his stall. You can just put him on a little bit of a lead line. So have a lead rope and have him in his stall and make sure he's not terrified of the whip, because sometimes and I'd use like a little dressage whip or something you can reach out, or a lunge whip, but make sure he's not terrified of it, because if he's overreactive to that, you first need to desensitize him to the whip, because we don't want him to be afraid of the whip. We want him to respect what you do with it. So I would suggest that you go to making sure he's not, overly responsive to just the presence of it. And once he's kind of, make sure he's good with that, then even in his little stall, you can just cluck. So ask him to go forward and then cluck and just tap him just the littlest bit. Sometimes by keeping the area small, like at the end of a lunge line in a big arena, he feels like he can run and get away. But just tap him ever so slightly, so it's not a high degree of pressure, but look for him, and you may just need to tap and tap a little bit. Go from a really soft place. As he responds and moves on, click and reinforce and tell him that's what I want you to do. And so he'll learn to do it in a nice, relaxed manner, as opposed to being overly explosive or being overly defiant or feeling threatened. You just do it in a nice, controlled setting. If he's a type that he kicks at it or something, you need to make sure that you have a place where you can do it where you are safe. But I'm imagining he's running away when it happens and trying to flee, because that's what I see more often than not. So if that's the case, I think that would be a good place to start. So as you get him responding and moving correctly in a stall or a really small controlled setting, something that's nice and relaxed, and just walking off is good at first. He doesn't need to lunge and bolt off. If he just moves forward at all and pair it with the cluck, so you can go, then a little tap, so he starts learning, oh, cluck means go forward, so you can fade out the use of the whip altogether. So I hope that helps you out. Sometimes it's hard when I don't have enough a lot of details there, so I don't know exactly what he's doing. But hopefully that'll help you out. So start with those small steps, help to set him up for success, utilizing a place where it's not quite so big, and then just progressing from there. And as he starts to understand just to go forward as opposed to rearing or whatever he might be doing, then you've got something to work with. And click and reinforce for the correct response. And you want it to not be an overly reactive lunging forward, but just a moving off just a little bit. So soften your aids a little bit, get a little bit where you get just where that point is, responds a little, and move into there. All right, and as far as your Morgan mare, relax and having fun is also very effective. It's the other side of the coin. With him, you're wanting to move forward as a reaction without being, you know, mad or defiant or, you know, acting up about it. With her, you want her to soften and relax. And that's those situations, I would look for her to drop her head, to exhale, to soften the eyes, soften the ears, look for relaxation in all you do. And also, yeah, I think you'll find as soon as you start doing the target training with her, she's going to really enjoy it, and you're going to start getting relaxation. You're going to see your relationship start to change with her. Anyway, so I hope that helps you out. Again, that question was from Victoria. I'm Shauna Karish, and that was from AskShauna.com. So if you ever have any questions, go there, opt in, and you can figure out, it'll kind of tell you how to submit questions. So we just might answer your question on here. So anyway, enjoy getting on target.